Welcome to Chamber Talk, the podcast where we drive into experiences and insights of leaders who are making real impact in our community. I'm your host, Andrew Gregson, and today we are joined by an incredible team from the Eli Home, a non-profit dedicated to sheltering abused children and preventing the family violence. With us today, we have Tami, Stephanie, and Ryan. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. So just before we start, we've got to give a shout out to Joe Linz and Century 21 Discovery, who's actually generously providing us his conference room today so we can record this episode. As many of you know, the Chamber office is undergoing renovations after the fire that we had in April. And Century 21 Discovery, who's also an esteemed full-service real estate firm and also a long-standing chamber member, have stepped up and to help us out. So thank you very much, Century 21 Discovery and Joe Linz. So let's get on to Eli Home. Tami, why don't you share a little bit about this dynamic that's going on here between the three of you?
So we are the development team at the Eli Home, and I like to say that the OGs have created the foundation for the last 41 years at the Eli Home, and we have come in to bring in some new ideas, new partnerships. We're really trying to create sustainability for the next 40 years. And I think we are a wonderful team. And actually, we are called the Monkeys.
Oh.
Does anybody want to
Is it like the Monkeys, like the show? Like, hey, we're the Monkeys?
No,
oh, okay.
Not quite.
All right.
I feel like, okay, I'll explain why we're the Monkeys. I explained it to the board as we were coming in, as we are full of energy, bouncing off the walls. We're going to rally all these new people in and bring excitement to the next chapter of the Eli Home. That's
awesome. I like that. So I don't want to ask either of you two, Ryan or Stephanie, because I don't think you're monkeys at all. So Stephanie, why don't you share a little bit about what's the mission behind Eli Home?
Our mission at the end of the day is to break the cycle of family violence, child abuse, and we've been doing it for over 41 years. People know us in the area, and we have helped over 40,000 people. But we're looking to just continue that. And at the end of the day, we are hoping to go out of business. So we do break that cycle. And that would be our biggest hope and goals for the Eli Home.
Now, that's quite an interesting thing you mentioned there. And Tami, I want to throw this to you because, your operations. How do you keep a tally on the dynamic of how many people you actually help? Because that's not an easy thing to do, is it?
So it's not, but we generally have helped over 1,000 children and families each year.
Oh, wow.
And so actually after 41 years, we are pretty close to a little over 44,000 in general. And so that includes children and moms at our shelter homes. That includes the hundreds of children that we help at Christmas and their moms. That includes the community in which we are in. We're headquartered in one of the most disenfranchised part of our city in Anaheim. And there is a lot of people who need our help just with basic needs. And we also have classes at our headquarters, financial literacy, homework club, ESL, all these classes to help with the general population and whatever we can do. So that those people, everyone's included in that 1,000 people we help. So generally speaking, we've helped so many people.
And just out of interest, Ryan, how difficult is it for you to reach? It's not the easiest thing, is it? There's so many nonprofits out there. What are the challenges you face?
Yeah, so that's one of the things when I came in as, the director of marketing. Everything's online now. So I'm in charge of the Instagram and the Facebook, and, when we have sales, putting them on Craigslist or OfferUp, like all over the place. But just creating things that aren't necessarily that just you hop on and say like, please donate. You make like funny videos, grab people's attention, and then you share your mission. And then you say, what this is really about. It's just about grabbing viewers and listeners' attention, and just bringing more awareness to it.
Now, you mentioned about sales there. You want to share a little bit about what you've got to sell?
Yeah, so we got a little bit of everything. I mean, we're called the Eli Everything and More store for a reason. From cosmetics to food to furniture to thrift items, car stuff, cat and dog food. We really sell it all. Probably about 80% of our inventory is donated. We get furniture from big box stores and people that just donate, a lot of items as well. Yeah, a little bit of everything in there.
Do you have, by any chance, if they're listening or anyone can pass something on to them, do you have companies or corporations like IKEA or Walmart or other companies like that donate furniture?
We have a couple big box stores. We're always looking for more. We don't have a ton right now. So that is something we have been focusing on. We would love to have more big boxes donate to us.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. So just out of interest, because Ryan delved straight in there to social media and his store that he's lovely proud of, and we've got a video about that online if anybody wants to see that. Stephanie, you want to share a little bit about, because the business isn't just about the store, is it? You want to share a little bit about really what's going on with the Eli Home?
Sure. I think it's interesting that you asked what of our struggles, because there's so many nonprofits out there. What I learned very quickly is that us nonprofits are all working together. It's not really we're in a new era where we have to work together. And we've talked about this before we are so used to in the nonprofit of give me, give me, give me. But what we're bringing to the table is there's ways that we can give. Maybe it's not monetary, but there's ways that we can all work together. And the calls that we even get with moms needing shelter and needing extra support, they're coming from other nonprofits. So this isn't something where it's, well, this nonprofit is helping them. There is a line of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Collaboration,
thank you, of where we all do need to work together. And it used to be so much more difficult because it was like, oh, well, they have all of the business and we need it and we want to help. We're just in a different era
space now.
Yeah. And I think it comes back to the pandemic. I think we've all learned that we have to lean on each other. Mm-hmm. So what we're bringing to the table is finding different ways that as a nonprofit, we can still give and we can still collaborate with other businesses. And that's why we've brought so many new companies on to work with us, because yes, they are helping, but they want the advertisement too. Everyone is hurting over these last few years. And we have brought many new companies that the sustainable partnerships that we have made in the last 7-8 months is something that our nonprofit hasn't seen in years. So we're very excited to continue to bring that. One is with the chamber. So we're very excited to just be working with you, even doing this today.
So what are the things you mentioned there, other partners? So really, as we know, because we've had this conversation offline, as you just mentioned, but it doesn't mean you just have to be necessarily a nonprofit. And I know that you've met quite a few different people who you're collaborating with now. You want to share a little bit about how that happened, where that went, where it's going?
Sure. So when I started the beginning of this year, we wanted to just get our name out there again. We have been here for over 41 years, but not in a scale as far as it goes back to the social media. We haven't been present on those platforms. So we immediately got on and saw who are the chambers in the area, what social network events can we go to? And one of the first ones that we went to, I think back in March or April, was North Orange County Chamber Mixer at Matador.
I never knew that. Wow, that's cool. Okay.
So that was, I think you were one of the first meetings that Tami and I came to, and then we later brought Ryan to the second one. But in that first meeting, we met
so many people.
So I think it was a rainy day. We weren't expecting anything out of it.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I remember that. We didn't expect anyone to come, but we had a lot of
50
people.
Or 60 companies that were there.
Yeah, we had people from Irvine and Newport. Yeah, you're right.
So from that meeting, and again, that was back March, April, we have met a company that's doing our new software, our CRM. We have
give them a plug.
Yes.
So Dustin
Cole.
Oh, the
CRM
Navigators.
Navigators. Amazing.
Yeah.
We also are so blessed to be working with Jacera.
Oh, right,
from
from
BNI.
BNI. Right,
She's
right.
gotten us into a BNI group, and she also has helped us personally at a lot of our events with Push Core Preps.
And let's say, just before you move on, because we both know that Jasara is great at what she does, but she's not very good at pushing herself.
No.
So let's
No,
just
she's
quickly share that. What does
Okay.
Jasara do in her spare
Oh,
time?
I'm so excited to promote her right now. So Push Core Preps is a meal prep company. So she does meal preps and family meals, the weekly menus along with family dinners. She has blessed us with helping at our poker tournament. She donated her time and the food to be our food sponsor there. And she's also helped at a couple of our community events. Please, if you need any family food prep, reach out to her.
And just everybody know that if you actually attend our next upcoming networking event, which is the biggest, brightest breakfast in Bueno Park, Jasara is going to be actually doing the food. And Jasara's also just recently come on board as an ambassador for the chamber. So thank you very much, Jasara. And that was nice. Anyway, please carry on. There's a few other people, isn't there?
I have one other huge supporter that we all love dearly, and that's Johnny
Home.
Home.
There you go. Just joined the board this year.
Yes, he is with Life Partners Insurance. He actually has come to quite a few of our events, along with a tour that we had this past weekend. Just a great advocate for what we're doing and really invested in hearing more and understanding more on what our mission is and what we're doing. And another big company that we're very excited to be working with is Sally, who we met at
Urban Air,
yes,
right?
Urban Air in Fullerton, an awesome trampoline park that my kids go to quite often. But they are generously offering to host our kids' Christmas party that we have every year, which we can talk about later. But very, very excited to be working with them and getting their name out there.
That's really cool. Another local place. And I can see Tami, she's bouncing up and down in a chair like now, as if we've missed something out. Is there something else, Tami?
No, I just wanted to add to it because it's so exciting to see these partnerships. They're flourishing because I think we're all excited to do something new with each other and come up with new innovative ideas so that we can collaborate and help each other's businesses. I love saying that we are better together. We truly are in every aspect, right? Just like we were talking about nonprofits, businesses, it doesn't matter. We're all in this together and we're all trying to survive, right? So I just personally, I'm really excited to see it.
To be honest with you, that's what keeps me going all the time. Chambers, it's not the money that keeps you in the job that I'm in. It's more about the people and what happens and seeing, as exactly as you're mentioning, people grow and flourish. So that's a good point you mentioned there. So I feel like we've ignored Ryan at the end here for a while. And so, Ryan, I know you have a big job over there at the store because I've seen it, and you're very, very hardworking. If people are out there listening, is there somebody who can help? Whether it's donate, time, what do you need, bud?
Yeah, I mean, as far as donations go, we're always looking for donations, whether it be clothing or thrift items, furniture, knickknacks. Our EliHome.org, you can reach us there through our social media, Eli Everything. We're definitely always open to taking any types of donations, vintage, new, whatever it may be.
And how does it work? Do people call you? You go pick it up? They drop it off? How does all that work?
Yeah, so typically with smaller items, you can come to the store anytime while we're open. As far as furniture goes, we always ask that either you text or email a picture first, just to make sure we have the room to house it and store.
And what type of furniture do you take?
Pretty much everything, like desks, armoires, couches, chairs, appliances, not so much. But yeah, pretty much any furniture.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the food, I noticed when we went down the aisle, you had a couple of aisles of food products.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get those? Are they donated or do you pick them up? Or
so some of that we get from places we buy from.
Mm-hmm.
A big majority of it comes from, like I was talking about big box stores.
Right.
They give a lot to us.
Now, I noticed that obviously I had a conversation with somebody a couple of weeks ago. It was Higher Ground, actually. And they were talking about how since the dollar stores have sort of like gone out of business or moved on to other bigger and better things, they're seeing that a lot more people are using their food banks and things. Have you noticed, has there been a change that people are maybe coming in to picking up knickknacks at your place or food or what have you, rather than because the Dollar Tree went, or not pound, dollar store left?
Maybe a little bit. I think our store differs. Not saying that the dollar stores are bad or anything, but a lot of our stuff, because of where we get it from these big box stores, it's products that come from, let's say, Target or Walmart that are $20 and we're selling it for $5.
Wow.
It's not something like a smaller quantity you may get at a dollar store.
Right.
We have like that quality stuff for cheap prices.
And is it all packaged things and tins, or do you have fresh produce as well?
We have fresh produce as well.
What sort of things? I'm trying to lure it out.
Yeah.
What have you got going on? Come on, tell me.
I mean, from lettuce to onions.
Oh, really?
Chilies.
So this is a daily thing. So you get fresh produce daily, I'm assuming.
Correct. Yeah.
Right,
and when we get big donations of fresh produce like bananas, those, if we get, a bunch of them, bananas typically are only good for, a week or so. We have so many, we'll sell them for like very cheap. So they sell out quick to the community. Cause that's another big thing we do is try to make reasonable prices to the people in our surrounding area.
That's really cool. And you're located in
Anaheim.
That's right.
Right off of East Street.
All right. Excellent. So let's go back to you, Tami. What's your daily life look like, running a big organization like this?
Well, we have several departments in which I kind of have my hand in them all. We have our headquarters, which we have our administrative offices as well as our store, and that's just a big operation in itself. And then we have our main shelter. It's a safe house, which we don't disclose the location,
Sure.
but then we have staff there who are doing important things. And each department is very different. Each department requires its own special, requests, needs. I'm always looking for ways to improve each department or ways to make things more efficient. And that's kind of overall. There's a lot of things that we do during the day, but that's my overall vision. I love to just make things more efficient.
And when you mention things like the shelter and stuff like that, do you also try, a part of your revenue, do you also look for not funding, but sort of like government type funding?
Absolutely.
Or, okay. And that's not easy, is it?
It's not easy. But I think we're in a good position right now because the government is trying to focus more on housing and, how do I say this? Providing to the people who can give to a smaller nonprofit. So there's the chain, and we're seeing it happen more, and we're truly excited about it. One major thing that happened was we won a large grant to be able to build permanent housing. That was something that was it has been a very long time in which someone has recognized that this homeless crisis that we're in stems a lot from, this is a health crisis. This is a health issue.
Sure.
And so we won this grant from CalOptima, and we're just so excited about it,
Right.
to be able to have the Eli Home's own permanent housing. And this isn't something that's owned by the government, which we're not used to. The government gives you
course.
money, they own what they
Whatever.
give you, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be Eli Home's own permanent housing. And so we're looking also for partners to help us build this permanent housing project. And this will be in Anaheim also. And we hopefully will start, maybe break ground next year.
Wow.
We're working on it, but it's a big project if you can imagine.
Well, we do actually have a few developers
That would be
in the chamber, so we can
We are
certainly
looking-
reach out to them for sure. This structure you're thinking of building, what type of structure is it? What are you building?
So this would be like an apartment complex.
Okay.
But The reason why this is going to be different is because my vision for this is it's, there's a stigma with affordable housing that it's, basic and it has to be the cheapest or the, just not great.
Right.
Well, my vision for the Eli Home is that this is going to be the first of its kind, the most beautiful apartment units or complex that you've ever seen. And it starts with everything being sustainable, eco-friendly, green. I mean, we're building our children's future, right? And so this is going to be a model.
Okay.
So this amazing thing that we're going to build is going to be a model in which people will be looking at. And so for partners who are a part of it, they're going to want to be a part of it because we're going to have, press, and it's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be something that's going to be replicated over and over again,
and so
right?
That is also Eli Home's sustainability goal, to continue with this one model and keep going so that we can continue to have housing, because it's such a crisis and it's so hard for our families to find housing. So to have our own, I mean, it's
amazing, isn't it?
Amazing.
And I know we're plucking from the air right now because you don't know until things further on. How many people or how many families are you looking at housing in this development?
So that's an interesting question because it started with 11 or 12, but I think what we can do is see if we can build more on top of.
That's a lot.
We need to see.
Right,
I might be speaking too soon, but we want to see if maybe it's possible that we go higher and add more.
Well, that becomes on how clever the developer is, isn't it?
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Okay. I love it. Good job. Now, that's great news, and I don't want to take that away from you, so we'll give a moment of silence, and then we move on to Stephanie, because she had a pen out. She's writing stuff down, so there's something else she wants to prompt you on. I can see.
She actually
she mentioned the
She
name.
read my mind.
Yeah.
Cal Optima has been a huge blessing to us in this past year. Like she mentioned, without that grant, we wouldn't be talking about the housing project.
No.
We wouldn't be talking about helping thousands more lives.
Sure.
So they are very interested in what we're doing, and we're excited to be working with them, not only with this housing project and that grant, but there has been other opportunities with community events. We just hosted a community event at the store that not only helped us bring in people, but also we had other companies that came. We had WIC there. We had Chiak. We had Costco is there. Push Core Preps. We brought in more people, and we brought them to a community that needs them. And they were able to get the resources that they needed without having to go outside of their neighborhood.
And how far are you? Sort of like, are you just like, we're looking for developers now? I mean, how far are you in the process?
I would love to find a developer now. We have an architect that just came aboard that said, I'm willing to help with whatever. We have people that have said, I want to provide furniture there's so many. Just what I'm going to do in the very near future is launch a giving catalog that will explain every different which way that somebody could help. There's a lot to it.
Sure.
Labor, services,
architectural design.
There's so much.
Right.
So, but developer would be wonderful.
All right. Well, we'll snag this little bit and we'll push it out to all the developers. So back to you, Ryan. I was pretty amazed at when we came down there and looked how clean, tidy and orderly everything was there. And I noticed you had a couple of other staff members who were working alongside you. Mm-hmm. Why don't you share a little bit about the strength that you've got with the people who help and work around you?
Yeah. So the staff's great. One of the biggest things I do at the store is babysit Steph and Tami. I just make sure they're doing the right stuff all the time.
That must be very taxing.
Yeah. Other than that though, no, so our staff's great. A lot of times we'll get, donations of furniture. We try to always pick up quality, but if, the staff, they go through everything, they clean everything. Nothing goes to the floor all dusty or dirty or anything like that. All the glassware. We have a lot of, Princess House? What it's called? Princess House Crystal. Tons of it. They clean all that before it goes out. Clothing. We make sure it's quality clothing. If it's dirty or stained, they go through that. They get rid of it. But yeah, we got a
table.
What old machine?
By the way, talking about that, because you just started that open little area there where you've got some really cool little knickknacks and things like that. People, do you post these online? People can see the pictures of them, buy them. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so not so much posting in a sense of, you can go on our page and just shop for stuff.
Right.
But we post a lot of videos where I'll go over certain items in the store to show like the daily finds, new stuff that comes in. It is something that we've talked about and looked into. Maybe in the future we can have, stuff posted like that.
Yeah.
Like
a little e-commerce store.
Yeah,
right,
pretty much. We do have a big presence on eBay. Certain things we'll put on Craigslist or offer up.
That makes sense.
But for the most part, a lot of the new stuff you'll see in videos.
Right. And it makes sense that because, you're going to come across some gems sometimes, which could be collectibles.
Yep.
And, get a bit of a bid going on there, get a little bit more money to charity. Don't worry, folks. These guys aren't stealing it. It's actually going back for the good. So that's what it's all about. Go on, Stephanie.
I have to do a plug with the eBay section. That's, again, another social enterprise that we weren't doing before we came on, and a perfect example of us monkeys just bringing this chaos and circus in a good way to the Eli home.
All I keep thinking about is the bananas he's mentioning. Every time you say it, the bananas, we get loads of bananas. Well, we got monkeys, we're all right.
Right. The OGs that we lovingly call them kind of think that we're just these crazy nuts that are going around doing all these things, but we're like, trust us.
That's the problem.
So
it was just adding.
Yes.
It just adds.
Yes.
Every bit of experience just adds to what you were doing before to make it bigger, doesn't it?
So we had a fun donation a few months back of Tic Tacs.
Oh, wow.
And
Like
Ryan,
yes. Oh, wow.
Yes. And all of us, including Tami and I, were like, okay, Ryan. He's like, I promise I'm going to sell these on eBay. We're like, okay. Now, if we think he's crazy, the OGs are like, forget it. We're not talking to him. Let him do his thing. He's going to go and run off. Ryan, you want to let us know?
Yeah. I mean, just off the Tic Tacs alone, we probably did $300 or $400 worth of eBay sales.
What was the total of Tic Tacs again? You cheers.
Oh, it was thousands.
Thousands.
So what was it? You got like loads of little boxes, or they gave you special big boxes?
It was just one of the big box stores donated a bunch of Tic Tacs, and I guess they don't sell them or something anymore. Like they're out of season, but everybody on eBay loved them.
I used to be my
favorite. It happens all the time, though. I'll tell them like, "Oh, this is worth this much," and that, like she said, they're like, "Okay."
So maybe that's a good idea for anybody that wants to donate it. As random as it sounds.
Yeah.
We could absolutely use it.
Yeah, 100%. I like that. I like that idea. It looked very good, by the way. You did a great job. And then for those of you who've never been there, if you ever do go down to that area, the artwork that was put up on the wall was actually done by staff, right?
Correct. Yeah, one of our staff members, she's a great painter. She's a really good artist.
There you go. So as we're moving forward, we're talking about, we're mentioning that obviously you've got this amazing project that's coming up that's going to be huge. What else is there? Because I know that's not the only thing, is it?
I'm going to pass it to Stephanie because we're going to talk about Christmas.
Christmas started in July at the Eli home. We are working very quickly to get Christmas started as far as sponsors for the event, along with sponsors for the Christmas event for the children.
Okay.
So that's a two-part. Christmas ball is where we invite a lot of friends and family, but also the donors that we've had throughout the year.
Okay.
We expect you both to be there also.
Sure.
But that's when we recognize what we're doing. And that's really where the heart of everything that we've done throughout the year, that's when we really get to express the heart of the Eli home. And we talk to past clients. They get to share their story, whether it's just video or some do come in person, and recognize the donors that had helped us get to where we are at the end of the year.
Right.
So we have many people to recognize that support us. And in addition to the event, the funds that come from that event also help support the Christmas event that we have for the children in December.
Okay.
So
and that's like a big party, is it? Or
it's a part of it.
Okay.
So the kids get a party, but what we try to do is help support the moms who maybe can't financially support their kids with the Christmas presents.
Okay.
So we, in a sense, are Santa.
Right.
So this takes hundreds of people to help us with this, hundreds of companies that sponsor toy drives, clothing drives, and all of this is new items that we get to procure and present to the children in December.
Okay.
We're, like I said earlier, we're very lucky to have Urban Air host this event this year. We're expecting 200 to 400 people come to that event, and the kids get to play for a few hours, get to have some pizza, have a good time, and then Santa comes and presents the families with their gifts that they get to take home for Christmas.
I think as we're on a Chamber podcast, we need to do what Chamber does best, and we need to say, we need to keep you in contact with Giving Children Hope and Pete Bowen, who's the CEO over there, because they have a heap load of toys coming out through the year, and I'm sure there'll be something that helps along with that. And so we're in true form. We're going to put somebody on the spot and say, hey, Pete, give him a call. Or we'll give you his number and you can give him a call.
Collaboration.
Yes.
100%. So also you were mentioning there, there's a little bit more. So what's the other part for the sponsors of the businesses, part of this Christmas thing that you were talking about?
As far as what they're getting out of it?
Yeah, because there's always
Right?
that in there. Come on.
Yeah, we got to pat each other's back.
Yeah.
With everything that we're doing this year, again, it's just getting our name out there, but it's getting the sponsor's name out there. So we're continuously finding different ways to advertise each other and helping at each other's events. We just had one networking company that, again, we couldn't donate to their event, but they needed people.
Mm-hmm.
They needed hands on deck to help them make their event successful. And we did have the time, we did have the people. And so we went and helped them. And in return, they're doing a toy drive for us. They're advertising us on their social media. So we're doing that in return. We've amped up our, just hit that.
That's okay. It's all right. It's Joe's place, not mine. By the time he hears it, we'll be gone.
Our social media, we've really used that to our advantage as we've increased our following. That's another way that the companies that are supporting us, we're pushing them out there any chance we get. Any referrals that people are asking us for, we know exactly top of the list who we're sending it to. Throughout the year, we're procuring all of our sponsors' names for our annual report and a newsletter that goes out to the whole Orange County community. So that's 2,000 to 3,000 people that we sent it out to last year. We're hoping to double that this coming year.
Sure.
So again, it's just supporting each other.
And how you had an event not so long ago, didn't you? I saw it online. It was like, I don't know, they were gambling or something.
we have an annual poker tournament.
Oh, it?
Not really gambling.
Sorry. I wouldn't know.
No. So
I'm English. That's what it means. Sorry. It's a difference in the language and interpretation.
It is a friendly, charitable poker tournament. People pay to play for fun.
Okay.
We had it at the Elks Lodge in Fullerton, just down the street from where we are today.
Sure.
It was a fantastic event.
It's actually up on the hill.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is,
up
right?
the hill.
Up
yes.
on the hill there, yeah.
And this event, it just brings a lot of fun. It's a fun event that we have. Christmas is very formal. Golf that we had in May, again, you have your gentlemen and women that are coming and they want to play. Poker is just a fun one. We had a lot of dancing, a lot of food, and we played poker all night.
So let's do a quick rundown there then. So there's a few major events you do. Let's name the ones that they are. So from the beginning of the year, which starts in January, let's go that way, okay?
So we have 4 signature events. We have a golf tournament that's typically in May, or we would like to keep it in May due to the weather. It was fantastic this year.
Yeah, just before it gets hot.
Sold out tournament the past 2 years. We have the poker tournament, which we just had in July. The Christmas ball, which we have in November, and the Christmas, Kids Christmas, that we have in December.
Okay.
The other one, those are our 4 signature that we've had for years, and the one that we are going to escalate next year, now that we kind of understand more on what we're doing, is Help Them Home.
All right.
So Help Them Home is a nonprofit that promotes, there was 26 nonprofit organizations that participated.
Yes.
You want to go to him?
Okay, so Help Them Home, it was a collaboration of 26 nonprofit organizations, and they all work together to raise more than $1 million to go towards homelessness.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, earlier, I want to ask you another question, actually, so I'm glad you grabbed the mic. You were mentioning before that you have an off-site site where you help folks get on their feet in their home. How does that run? Is that run where you're having government funding for that? Is that also coming from your kitty that you're trying to pull across? What's all
So
that about?
anywhere we can get funding, whether it's private donations, private grants from foundations, from government funding, anywhere. It takes a lot to run this shelter program in which we have so many different classes and therapy, and just running the home itself, is very expensive. So anywhere we can get funding.
And at any time, how many families do you usually have involved in that project?
Yes. We always, unfortunately, have a full house. We always have a wait list, which is why we're so excited about having more housing.
Sure.
But we, at one time, could have 6 to 8 families.
Oh, that's quite a lot of folks.
So we are, yes, and they're constantly in their own journey where in and out, right? So they're doing their programs, and the main goal is to find them permanent housing. We don't have our own yet, but we partner with other people to help them get on their feet, get a job, and move into permanent housing.
Can you share a little bit about some of the programs that they're running at the shelter?
Yes. So there are programs for both children and moms, but for moms, there's life skills training. Again, there's counseling. Along with life skills, there's job training. We help them find a job. And then for children, during that also there's case management. There's a lot of things that they need to get done, and trying to sometimes reunification. Another program is Love and Logic. There's so many. Sorry,
it's okay.
A lot to name, but that's just some.
Right.
We are focused on, which is not common. We at the Eli Home focus on keeping the children and moms together, not taking them away from each other. And so we were, back in the day, we were the only organization doing that, where a lot of the time the children were taken away and mom didn't have a choice. Well, we keep them together. We're working on the issues together with mom and children. And parenting is one of the big classes.
So there's a lot going on in your mind there. I can see it because you've got a lot of programs on. As an organization, how do you keep it closed so you're not, because you could run anywhere, right? At any given moment, there could be something that shoots you off in a different direction. How do you keep focused on the multiple tentacle things you got going on?
That's why they call us the monkeys. Yeah, that's why we're the monkeys.
That's why you're the monkeys.
That's why. And it's a great question, because we try to remain focused, and we do.
Right.
And there's our core mission, and there's our core things that we need to keep going. Our mission is our shelter program, and keeping that going. But we're open to a lot of different things, and we want to keep our minds open to, maybe these sound crazy, these ideas. We don't care. We will try it and see what sticks, what doesn't. And I think that's what makes it fun for us. That's what makes it, we deal with a lot of sad things. And so we have to keep things fun, right? Exciting when things get kind of, it's kind of a bummer, and things that we deal with. But so that's what keeps it going. So
now, reading on your website, the organization 41 years ago, whatever, it started off as like a faith-based type of thing. Is it continued today?
It started out of a Bible study group.
Wow.
So just a small group, and some of those people who are part of that group are still there today.
Wow.
And most of their lives dedicated to the Eli Home.
So you grew up with this?
I grew up with this.
And so do you feel you always had, it just became such a norm for you that it just automatically came this way? Or was it later on in life you thought, oh no, I do want to help out?
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's what I was going to say.
So just summarizing, no, I had my own path of medical field. I have a degree in biomolecular science. Completely.
I don't even know what that is.
Yes.
I'm not even know what I'm talking about.
Nobody does.
But it sounds dangerous.
I didn't make it up, Ryan. No, I did not.
It sounds like you could have stopped COVID. That's what that sounds like to me.
Well, shoot. Well, no. So I, I graduated from Chapman University with that degree, and I worked in genetics for a while.
Right.
And then my path, unexpectedly, it went to the Eli Home, and there was an opening. And back then I was director of development, for 10 years, and I just became my world. And yeah.
And then moving on.
Yeah.
So what then got you to bring Stephanie and Ryan in?
Oh gosh, that's a whole nother podcast too. No, it's just timing. Timing is everything. And it was the perfect time that we kind of all came together, and perfect time for them to come in and bring in this new excitement and new ideas to the Eli Home.
Well, I think it's definitely working because all of you have an amazing energy all the time. And it is slightly different, which is good because you can't all be the same. So you're doing a great job, and you're doing a great job. So the lady who I met, is that mum or is that grandma?
That's mum.
That's mum. So she's part of the original founding. She's it.
The co-founder, her and my father. Yeah.
Look at that. That's amazing. How lovely is that? So moving a little bit sideways from there, because obviously we were talking a little bit about other type of obstacles that happen in the world and how we have to pivot and change and all the rest of stuff. So moving forward in your world, Stephanie, what do you think you have to adapt to or change to in the next coming maybe couple of years?
I think that our biggest obstacle is changing the stigma of what nonprofits are doing and asking for.
Absolutely.
As soon as we say we're a nonprofit and we're looking for your help, you have people that cringe because they're waiting for you just to ask them to pull out a checkbook.
Yeah, it's in England what they did. They used to have these little things, and they go, "Can I have some money?" and that's the joke my brother and myself used to say, is as soon as you talk to a non-profit, it's as if you're shaking a tin asking for money. But that's actually not, that's further from the truth today, isn't it? It is, it's a business. And you're totally right. And if people started looking at non-profit, yes, they're not technically, in the eyes of the IRS, a business, but they really are.
Right.
They have to be run so too. So talking about business, what does business mean to you in your world right now? Stephanie? Because we can't ask the boss.
Besides keeping Tami in line, it's reinventing how we do the business.
Right.
It's how we survive, and that is with collaborating with companies. And I have companies that are small like us, or startups that we're not looking for their money. We're just looking for them to pass on the word.
Sure.
Tell their friends about us. We've had so many people that weren't able to financially support, but they've passed us on to a friend that is looking for a nonprofit to support. At the end of the day, companies are looking to support that to help their business on the back end.
Of course.
However you want to put that, they need to show that they're doing good for the community, for the world, and we want to be a part of that with them.
Now, thank you very much for that. Now, it also, we get to this end of the show where we're sort of closing down our episode today, and it has been fun, like it really has been fun. And there's a lot there I'm going to keep in because I think the listeners are going to love it too. But then there will be some I'll take out. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we'll just play around with our stuff because it is a business. But on a serious note, we get to the end of an episode, and we like to offer our guests what they would like to say, whether it's a closing word, whether it's something that we didn't touch on. So as Ryan, you've been the quietest out of the group today. Why don't we start with you? What would you like to share with listeners? Or it could be something personal you want to share, something about growth, or even something about the Eli Home.
Yeah, so I'll touch on the store again. As far as thrifting goes, I feel like a lot of people don't know about us. You know, they know about the Goodwills, the Salvation Armies, the Savers. We have really cool stuff. Come check us out. I guarantee you're gonna love it. And then Steph, you want to hand me that real quick? That basket. I brought you a couple things. I know it's not on video. I'll describe a couple of these things to you. I just tried to pick out some random knickknacks. We got this heart-shaped purse. It just says pizza. Brought this for Farah.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you could put your little leftover like Parmesan packets from DiGiorno's or Pizza Hut in there. And just some random stuff. You know, I know you like cool bow ties and ties. So there's this Vitaliano Pengali vintage tie right here.
I'm gonna have to wear that at the ball.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, just a random assortment, you know.
Thank you.
Big box store stuff, you know, Chick-fil-A sauce. Everyone loves Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, dude, special sauce.
We got a Robert Frost complete poems book.
Wow.
A decanter.
Nice.
Yeah, just a wide array of just an example of what we have at the store. So come on down, check us out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And hey, why don't you give us the address whilst you're at it there?
1175 Northeast Street, Anaheim, California, 92805.
And then what's the Instagram handle again?
It is at Eli Everything. It's also the same on Facebook.
Excellent. Good job. So, Stephanie, I'm going to ask you the same question. In case you forgot it, it's basically, you know, share whatever you're thinking or what you'd like to share with other people.
What I would love to see from our community is whether you can lend a hand or you can lend 100. We're looking for you.
Oh, I love that. That's really clever, isn't it? You have to write that down and steal it. That's amazing.
Copyrighted.
Yeah, copyrighted trademark. All right, I'm going to give you a moment here, Tami, so you can have a think. What would you like to share?
Life is unexpected, right? I did not go the path that I thought, and here I am at the Eli Home with all of these amazing people, and I always keep my eyes open. Every day we meet the most amazing people, and they are brought to us for a reason. Anyone that we come in contact with, it's for a special reason. And this is what is going to keep the Eli Home legacy alive. And we will continue to share. And we are going to ask everyone to share. You never know what somebody's going through at that moment in time, what they're going through in their life. But one thing is for sure, life is really about helping others and giving to others. And that I can say with the most certainty is the most fulfilling thing in life. And I'm so lucky to be a part of it. And I will continue to share how amazing it is to be a part of this organization.
That's an amazing ending. Thank you very much, Tami. That's really good. That really is. So, guys, thank you all so very much for coming on here today. It's been a pleasure having you all. A barrel of laughs. I'm going to love editing this. And there's going to be so many shorts. It's going to be fantastic.
No.
Yeah. Hey, it's too late now. It's all recorded. It's all there. So those of you who are listening, thank you so very much. That's a wrap for today's episode. We'd love to again say thank you very much, Tami, Stephanie, and Ryan for coming on here today and being so much good fun. We've certainly enjoyed the conversation. If you want to hear more inspiring stories or business insights, please be sure to visit chambertalk.podbean.com, where you can find all our other episodes. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay connected and keep making a difference.